What is happening, YouTube? So, the time I'm making a video right now, it's during midnight because I'm still awake because this was an insane, crazy game. 176, 175. This was a this was a very intense loss for the Los Angeles Clippers, and this was a very high scoring game. And this was winnable, but I'm not like insanely mad. But also feel like Tyronn Lue could have definitely made a lot of improvements, and there were so many key flaws for the Los Angeles Clippers. But I could definitely see the potential of the team going really far in the playoffs and eventually go to the finals. But there's definitely a lot of um, improvements that Tyronn Lue definitely could have done. And this is also Russell Westbrook debut. Welcome to the Los Angeles Clippers, and hopefully he proves me wrong. And this game looks like he is proving me wrong because with Russell Westbrook, we play with a lot faster pace, and our offense gets going pretty well, and he gets the rebound, and his defense is respectable. It's just the Kings were just scoring, and it was good defense too at times. But then our transition defense, though, definitely could have used a lot of work. But anyways, Paul George. Paul George did really good in terms of scoring and assists and rebounding. But then in the fourth quarter, he got complacent and made back-to-back turnovers, which that was the key factor of us losing the game. Kawhi Leonard, I don't need to say too much. 44 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. He just turned to a demigod. He turned to um, Kawhi when he was playing against the Dallas Mavericks. That was just insane. Marcus Morris Sr. felt like Terrence Mann should have started this game just because the Kings' offense was very good, and pretty much we already had a lot of offense. Terrence Mann would have definitely he got more rebounds than Marcus Morris, and Marcus Morris is a lot bigger than Terrence Mann. Should have been moved to the bench personally, and then Terrence Mann that minutes should have got doubled, at least 30 minutes, and should have been closing. And Powell minutes should have been trimmed down to like maybe 30 minutes rather than 38. And Mann should have been playing 38 because I felt like if Mann was closing throughout the whole entire overtime, we would have took control and won the game because how clutch Terrence Mann is. Russell Westbrook starting definitely shocked me, and personally, I would have definitely had Russell Westbrook off the bench, but Russell Westbrook starting wasn't even a problem if Marcus Morris was and Terrence Mann swapped places, and Russell Westbrook, he definitely got the offense going, and he was pretty efficient in terms of scoring, and his 3-point shooting, of course, was not the best, but it was not like his misses wasn't the worst in the world, which was pretty good. And he got 5 rebounds, more than Marcus Morris. Not trying to bash Morris, but that's just the way how I see this game. Mason Plumlee, he was pretty much very efficient. 4 for 4, doesn't miss. 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He did pretty solid in general. Um, Maybe he could have played more minutes as well too, just because he was a pretty good lob threat with Russell Westbrook. And Nico Batum, he was very key in this game. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. He was clutch. He was an Andre Iguodala. Norman Powell, he did very good on offense, but on defense, he was kind of a somewhat of a liability. Of course, he wasn't like the worst of the worst, but his defense was pretty vulnerable, and like I said, his minutes should have went some to Terrence Mann. Um, Eric Gordon, 8 points, 2 assists. So he had a pretty neutral performance. Um, he had one nice pass to Mason Plumlee, but that was pretty much it. Low-key, could have went to Bones, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people like Eric Gordon, but um, it just doesn't feel right that Bones is getting DNPs. But he did turn the ball over a good amount against the Phoenix Suns, but at the same time, felt like our pace would have been moving pretty fast. So I would like Ty Lue to try to squeeze minutes for Bones, and also I'm not a fan how Ty Lue just simply went small ball as Marcus Morris as the center against the Sacramento Kings. If it was Sabonis off the bench, that would have been fine. But at the same time, Marcus Morris was also kind of a key issue in terms of our transition defense as well too. How they just scored inside the paint just like that. It was 40% transition defense, and then 60% the Kings was just making a lot of shots. So again, everything comes into factor, but this was very winnable. Two players that should have at least played. It could have been either Covington, which is the popular choice by every single Clippers fan, understandable, instead of Marcus Morris, or Musa Diabate, who would have actually been a pretty good rim protector, and he would have definitely hustled the ball pretty well, and our defense would have stepped up. And again, Musa Diabate should be playing Mason Plumlee minutes when Plumlee was playing how Plumlee was playing with Ivica Zubac, if you know what I mean. Because when Zubac was starting, Zubac was playing a lot of minutes, and then Plumlee was playing the bench minutes. That's how Musa Diabate should have played in this game. That's just my personal opinion, rather than going small, because the Clippers already have offense. So why not get some defense and all that. But nevertheless, you could definitely see the potential with the Clippers, but there's just a lot of mistakes that Ty Lue can fix. And in the post-game interview, he did say Terrence Mann should have played more, so hopefully he learns from his mistakes. But anyways, let's go to the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings, if we lost to the Kings last year or 2 years ago, this would have been another embarrassment. But the Kings this year, they're pretty legit. So it wasn't the worst thing in the world that we lost to the Kings, but it's just how we lost to the Kings, because we did blow a sizable amount of lead, and it was pretty much due to Paul George back-to-back turnovers, which, yeah, Paul George may have turned the ball over, but I would say other than that, he did pretty good all around, and he should have been honestly been playing during overtime at least. Pretty much like the overtime, the second overtime, he didn't play minutes at all, which was pretty weird. Sabonis, 8 for 14, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 20 points. In my opinion, I feel like the Sacramento Kings and the Denver Nuggets, they're incredibly similar. Both have a very skilled big and a very skilled guard. Jokic is level ahead of Sabonis, while De'Aaron Fox is levels ahead of Jamal Murray. So that kind of offsets the balance, and that's why I personally think they're pretty similar. And they also got good role players. They move the ball so well, and their defense is a bit suspect, but they have pretty good IQ. Harrison Barnes, he didn't do too much. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Keegan Murray, he's their really bright young gun for sure. 7 for 12. 1 for 4 from 3. a lot of it was just transition baskets. That's how they pretty much scored on us. We definitely need to improve on that for sure. And 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, and 15 points. Also, the Clippers, the way how he drew out the play was just pretty forced as well too. Could have, moved the ball a bit more, and maybe Kawhi could have took the last shot. And De'Aaron Fox, he had a monster 42 points. And De'Aaron Fox, he is ranked the most clutch player in the league for this year. At least when I was watching some Kings game, and the announcer pretty much ranked him as number one as like the most clutch points in this season. So Fox, he's a monster. He's having a very mega leap year and definitely establishing as a premier point guard. Shout out to the Kings as well too, because just a year ago they were considered to be a laughing stock, and now this year they're a playoff team. Kevin Huerter, he 4 for 8, 11 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Nothing too much. Trey Lyles, 4 for 7, 10 points. Metu, 8 points. Got a lot of rebounds too, because Ty Lue chose to go small ball. Davion Mitchell had a quieter night. Terrence Davis, he had some key shots. Malik Monk also murdered us too. It was a lot of it was just Malik Monk being a very skilled player, and now he pretty much pulled a Cam Thomas on us. But overall, the Clippers do have potential of, making it very deep to the playoffs. We also didn't have Ivica Zubac too, who would have definitely clogged up the paint too. But again, this was Ty Lue's responsibility to, instead of just automatically thinking, oh, we have to go small, why not maybe just, get Musa Diabate in for Mason Plumlee rather than just doing a ridiculous small ball lineup. And there could have been many alternatives, like if you don't want to start Terrence Mann, you could have started Nico Batum, or you could have started Robert Covington. It's just many other alternatives rather than, just straight up starting Marcus Morris, because Marcus Morris, he's been very streaky, and the past 5 games, he's pretty much have been like, and I'm not trying to say it to bash him, but he has been a liability on the defensive wise and the rebounding, and that's why I was really, and obviously I'm still, but I was pretty adamant of willing to ship him off during the trade deadline, because Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson, mainly Marcus Morris, they were getting targeted left and right, and then that's when we were vulnerable. But of course, who knows? Hopefully Marcus Morris can somehow respond and have a high scoring night. But I would prefer to bring him off the bench and, get us some bench points and all that. But anyways, let me know what you think of the Clippers squad. What do you think of Russell Westbrook especially? He definitely moved the pace pretty well too. He did get 7 turnovers, but this was a pretty long game. But he definitely got the offense going. And if he could, just, get the pace moving really fast and not take dumb shots, the Clippers would be pretty good. Although Ty Lue's coaching would definitely help. And also, I would probably give it like maybe 3 to 5 games. Hopefully, Russell Westbrook makes me eat my words for sure. But so far, he's doing solid. But again, Russ, please prove me wrong. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment sections. And as y'all know, have a good night and have a good weekend. And we face against the Denver Nuggets. And as y'all know, go Clippers.